GNT back at it with a special music episode. This time we're talking Sleep Token, even Arcadia. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the table, everybody. Hey, we're talking music again. We've been trying to talk about music for a while, ever since we did the Linkin Park episode. That was incredibly fun, but I am not by myself. I am with the man, usually on the ones and twos, Jorge.
What's good, peoples? Let's get into this music episode.
And Mike Barry.
Hello there. Let's do this.
Hell yeah. And I'm your lovely host, Kev, aka Spider Kev. Look, we've been wanting to talk music ever since we did the Linkin Park episode with us three. And that was really fun. So, I recently discovered, there was a new album that came out with a band that I have kind of known for a little bit now, but we're going to get into that. Mike, actually, no, I'm going to start with George because you actually never heard of this band until I sent it to you.
Negative.
So, as a engineer, producer like yourself, what did you overall think of this album and the band in general?
Oh, we're jumping right in. Okay. Well, first things first, shout out to Kev here because he's always sending us stuff and he's like, I got some homework for you guys. And I was kind of like, I'm always late to the party when it comes to like doing what Kevin tells me to do because, screw Kev. But
No.
I'm kidding. But
No,
I just never get around to it because I'm always listening to music and I just never want to listen to anything outside of work because I listen to it all day long. But it just so happened we did our first episode at the studio. And of course, Kev has to rock out the tunes for a second and he plays it. And we're all shaking, like looking at him and we're like, yo, who is this? And he's like, this is Sleep Token. This is the band I was telling you guys to do the homework on. And we're just oh.
You had this like 3 weeks ago.
We probably should take a listen to this. And the crazy part was, we all left the studio and I think we all were just like, this is freaking bomb, bro. This is so good. I think even Larry's kind of been, doing some family stuff, whatever, but he happened to chat, saw, the group and he was even like, yo, who is this? And Kev's telling him, oh, it's Sleep Token. And we're all like, yeah, this band is crazy, bro. Like, this is nuts. And then he tunes in and like a couple hours later, he's like, they're dope, bro. They're so dope. So shout out to you, Kev, because you put us on yet again. But yeah, as for the album, man, I deal with music all day long. Like I said, I deal with a lot of genres, but this is different. It has its own kind of tone where it's like, it can be rock. It could be trap music. It could be hip hop. You know what I mean? It's really like a huge like melting pot of songs and styles and genres and all that stuff. And it does, going back to us talking about Linkin Park, it does give me Linkin Park vibes in certain cases, like where you're mixing the rap with the rock music. But then he takes it a step further and there's a lot of like trap music. I'm getting the hi-hat rolls of a trap beat. The 808s are on there, and it's so smooth how he transitions from one style to the next. Because like I didn't expect a lot of them, and I'm like, holy crap, look at this. Mm-hmm. That was just seamless. So yeah, overall the album was for me an experience that I have I have pretty much every day now. I'm playing this thing literally once or twice a day in my car and belting it out. I'm glad there's windows and they're closed. Yeah, people would hear me.
I do agree when going off of like kind of like hip hop, like kind of giving Linkin Park vibes. He does give off Mike Shinoda when he does those certain verses. Mm-hmm. When he's not exactly rapping, he's doing like a what's the word for it? Kind of like
melodic rap.
Low? Like I don't know either.
Yeah. So yeah, that really does give Mike Shinoda vibes for sure. He just takes that to a different level to me. But Michael, what did you think about it, sir?
Before we get off the topic of Linkin Park, just for like shits and giggles, this in the year that Linkin Park's new album dropped, the views and the plays on Sleep Token are like far surpassing Linkin Park, which I think is crazy to like kind of think about. because it's freaking Linkin Park. But I was somewhat familiar with Sleep Token. A little bit here, a little bit there. I think they had like some viral songs a couple years ago. But Kev was like, "Yeah, check this out, and Kev has quite a big influence on my my playlist for sure. All the way back to how it was Motionless in White and some other ones.
Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, Ice
Oh,
Nine
Universe,
95. Just listen to this, and like, yeah, no, I completely respect your taste in music, and so far it hasn't gone wrong. And this is like super next level. I listened to it, and I'd seen like what Vessel looks like before anything, and which kind of brought in like a predetermined like, oh, this is going to be like screamo, like deathcore, like Cradle of Filth, something like just like make your throat bleed stuff. And I turned it on, and I was like, wait, what? Almost like the first like impressions I had with like Ghost, where I thought like Ghost would be the same thing, and like. Nope, it's very smooth, it's very melodic. It's he does drop like quite a few screams in there every once in a while, but for the most part it's smooth, it's really good. It's deep sounding music, and it goes all over the place. Yeah, you got like the trap beats. There's one song where it ends with like a saxophone solo that sounds like it's like straight out of like a 1940s like noir movie.
That was nice. I loved that. Was the one that was the song that Larry first listened to.
Oh, was that it? Okay,
that was it. And he said, "Yeah, that was cool."
Yeah, and it's like I liked it the first. There was a couple songs I wasn't like crazy about, but like the more I listened to it, the more like it became a whole album. I think to me, whereas like the first time I listened to it, there was like one or two songs I was like, "Wow, those are really good," but then I was like, "Let me listen to it again and again," and then like it just became a whole album experience, and it really. I was like to go back to Linkin Park, and I was there for like new metal and like when that whole thing started, and like this feels like that, like it is a complete new form of music that I was like, I don't know if that can ever be done, but yeah, they definitely stumbled across something that's new, and Kevin, thank you for sharing it.
Of course, yeah, I got you. You know, you guys are. I'm the youngest one here. I gotta show you guys a little bit of what these young bucks are listening to, and
dude, I will give you some '80s old school electro music to listen to. Okay, like Africa Boombada. Like I'll drop you some like King Diamond, like something.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay, so I was late to the party for Sleep Token as well. For someone who loves metal and rock, I did not listen to these guys until their last album before this, Take Me Back to Eden. I really loved that album. I was hooked from beginning to end. My favorite song from that previous album, it's either Take Me Back to Eden or The Summoning. It's one of those two. Those two are just amazing with how different they were and how they can mix genres together so well, and just how Vessel gets you with his vocals and the lyrics that he says. It just really takes your breath away, to be honest with you, and also hits you with every heartstring. And this album did the exact same thing for me. I was very excited about this album when they start showing like codes and everything, because that's what they do. They share like codes and like different other things to like tease the fans and everything. Yeah, which is cool. I mean, I like when bands do something out of the box.
What, like like viral marketing almost?
Yeah, they release like codes and they take you to some place, and some people actually do go to those certain places.
Oh, like real world places.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So it's cool. I appreciate that the most. This album did not disappoint. It really didn't. There was not one that I didn't like. There's ones that were better than others in my opinion, but all of them were just so good. They were good in their own ways. Like if one song that I don't really like all that vibe with, I'm not gonna skip it. I'm just gonna leave it on because it's Sleep Token and it's a great song.
So it's still good. You know, and the
Yeah.
way I look at it is like it's a 10-song album, right? That's quality over
12?
quantity because no, it's 10.
10 or 12?
Yeah, I have it up right now.
Ah.
Ha, gotcha. Anywho, but yeah, 10 songs. We're talking quality over quantity. We get albums nowadays where there's 16, 24 songs on an album, and there are a lot of hit or misses. On this album,
And sorry, cut you off. And there's bands like we talked about Linkin Park, how they add a slot for an intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
think
that
there's
too.
only like one song that's what is it? The one song's only like 2 minutes long, and that's the shortest, and even that's got like
Yeah, and that was another thing too. A lot of these songs are 6,
like
7,
5 minutes.
8 minutes
Yeah.
long. You know,
You're
like
definitely
you're giving
getting
us
like 2 songs out of one, basically.
yeah.
So.
And that's probably why they did only do the 10. But it's like the cool part about it is with longer songs, we always say like as engineers, people's attention spans aren't where they used to be. So like we need to transition. And with this album, it does that on one track. It changes 3 times in one song. You know what I'm saying? So like in theory, you're getting different flavors, but it's still the same song. And so they're playing to that attention span game. And you think like, for instance, the first song by itself is 7 minutes and 46 seconds. Okay. I thought it was 2 songs because of how it transitioned. And then when I look back, I'm like, damn, I'm still on song 1. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was like such a smooth transition. It felt really nice. It did blend. And that's what I'm saying is like a lot of these songs are 2 songs, 3 songs. And that's cool with me because it's giving you like a roller coaster ride. Like it almost reminds me of classical music when you go in like different, what do they call it? It's like, I forgot the word, but in classical music, you would have one giant classical piece, but inside there's 3 different parts. You know what I mean? And they all just flow into each other. And this is kind of what he's doing in this album.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said, it's honestly refreshing. It really is, because you could tell that they really put in their. I'm not saying every band or artist don't do this, but you could just tell that these guys really put their all into these albums and songs. Just all the different genres, lyrics, just the sound. I mean, it's just all. I don't want to say it's original because I'm sure other bands have tried to do it, what they do, and just not done it the right way, I guess you could say.
In like an era of like, you know, Ed Sheeran and like Pink Pony Ride or whatever the hell the name of that song is, like
Pink
then
Pony
you like
Club.
bingo, whatever, who cares? You got this and it's dropping and it's holding the charts with them too, which I think is incredible. As a lifelong like metal fan, it's really rare that something that can be classified as metal is like hitting and getting the traction it is outside of just the album. It's the singles. And it's really hitting. And I think a lot of these songs are like the second or third time you listen to them, you don't realize how like deeply personal they are until like you really start to like catch the lyrics. And sometimes he's squeezing a lot into a verse too, of a lot of words that don't exactly flow great together, but he's pulling it off. We'll get to a particular song later, I'm sure, but
maybe
it's
That's something I haven't done yet, though. Like, actually go through the lyrics and like see what's happening. I have this tendency of just listening to songs like as an engineer and producer standpoint that I don't listen to it as a writer because I'm not in that lane. So that's something I definitely want to try to get into more often, especially with these guys, because I think with them producing the way that they did, I would like to see how they incorporated these lyrics and how they were thinking to get to that point in the production. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's speaking like of what they're doing. I mean, they're a band that blew up really fast. Now you could say it's also helped the TikTok because TikTok use a lot of their old songs, like the previous album, a lot, and maybe that's it. But speaking of like other bands, like you have those like festivals that like go on for like the whole weekend. How you just have bands playing all day, every day. So Chris Motionless was in an interview. He was talking about it. He's like, honestly, like it's kind of tiring at this point because every year or every festival, it's always headlined just by Metallica or oh God, who else do you say, like System of a Down, and like older bands that have been around since the 90s and 80s, where he feels like it should be time to give the new era some light, like them or Sleep Token and everything else, because I haven't really followed, but I don't think Metallica has released a new album for a bit, right?
No, but they're proven, if you want to call them like AAA games almost, like they're gonna get the butts in the seat no matter what, because you have generations of family are like, I'm gonna bring my grandkids.
Right. I
But
get
like
it.
you can bring in like Sleep Token now and really kind of push the envelope and get new blood in there. That would be great.
Yeah,
Change the
Thing
because
is
scene.
that the thing with bringing in older bands, though, it's like I said, they're always going to bring in the seats, but they're the people that stood the test of time, and those guys are going to be what the new age of metal music is going to get their inspirations from. You know what I'm saying? So you still got to make sure those guys are taken care of. But in the same sense, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring in some new ones, because there's a lot of new bands that are out here that are doing great work, and they're not getting the recognition because there's so much in the shadow of Metallica's and System of the Downs and all that stuff. Like there's just a lot. There's a lot of music in our generation, and we're getting to that point where we still got to show homage to our older stuff, but we still got to make sure the new stuff is getting some recognition.
yeah, but I will say too, I agree. And just recently, I think maybe a couple weeks ago, Sleep Token did headline the festival,
Not
and
Hell
rad.
yeah!
the crowd that they had, they could sold out a whole football stadium. So what does that tell you? That this
Yeah,
band
when
is
is your
for real.
concert, bro? We about to go.
Yeah, let's go. I'm 100% down.
We were supposed to
I
do
keep
Linkin Park too,
Yeah.
and
we ain't got time
I
for
think that's
that.
in November.
Really, I thought it wasn't. Anyway,
Right?
so
Yeah, we're not talking about them.
yeah. um. So, Mike, would you like to talk about some of the lyrics that you were teasing a few minutes ago?
Yeah, mostly let me get my line up here. So Damocles, that has one of the craziest choruses I've ever heard. Um When the river runs dry and the curtain is called, how will I know if I've seen the bottom? Come up and choke on, or come up for air and choke on it all. No one knows that I've got a problem. What if I can't get up and stand tall? What if my diamond days are all gone? Who will I be when my empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten. Squeeze all that into like a chorus that and have it like flow as easy as it does, and it's so smooth, like, and the fact that he squeezes all of that into one chorus is kind of incredible. um
Yeah, dude.
Those words, though, like you really think about some real life shit. Like we're
Yeah.
talking about, we're getting to that point in our life. Like he's talking about the river, and
mhm.
the first thing I'm thinking of is like back in the Greek or Roman days when somebody died, they flowed them down the river. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, oh, that's what he was talking about. Like this is when I die, I'm flowing down the river, and how would I be remembered by the end of my life? You know what I mean? Like all of that stuff
Mhm.
is just so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That.
this whole song is about that, and about kind of reflecting on your life. And he's a pretty young guy,
Yeah.
but obviously he's already been through the strainer pretty good with some of the other stuff that's come up. But this song in general, I think, is probably my favorite song on the album, and it didn't quite click until like the second or third time that I heard it. And it's powerful, and every verse kind of starts off, and then it starts to build, and like the words build, and then the music also
Yeah.
builds, and they like add in like more dramatic drums, and like his voice gets a little scratchier and a little louder, and it just has this build and builds into like a crescendo that is incredible.
Yeah. Exactly. We're gonna talk about our top three.
All
That's
right, sorry for spoilers.
no. It's all right. That's up there for me too, Mike. But yeah. The one lyric I want to talk about. Well, there's actually two, but the one I want to talk about first is off of Caramel, and
Oof.
Yeah. So he goes on and he says it a few times in the song, but he goes to say, the stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare. A war of
Attrition.
attrition.
I had to look up attrition. I didn't know what that meant. It means the gradual wearing down of armor and willpower.
Yeah, I'll take what I'm given. I try not the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. I mean, as somebody who battles mental health and that type of thought every day, that just hit home so much to me, because that, again, that's just how I feel every day. Like, there could be days where I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be talk. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm just shutting down. I don't want anything to do with anybody. But there's also days where I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm happy. I'm the guy that everyone who knows me, sees me as, this guy, that's, it's nice, goofy, whatever. But there's just that thought in the back of your head that's just like a darkness that's just waiting for to come back and just take over. So that last line, like, I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. Obviously, he's talking about like how fans are trying to dox him for his his information and his privacy and everything. Because, like I said, Vessel, this is his identity is very important to him. Like the importance to the rest of the band. They're just out there to perform and give the fans what they want and just perform. But in the back of their heads, there's fans that try to get into their personal life, try to dox them for whatever reason. I don't know why people try to do that. Maybe their lives are just as boring and they just need to ruin someone else's life. I don't know. Or, it's just the thought of they make these songs that we enjoy and love, but to them it's like, are we making good songs? Like, are these not boring or bad? Like, as artists, that's tough for them, because you have this mental warfare of, God, is this song gonna be good enough? Is this song gonna people gonna love this song? Are they gonna love this album? Like, it's tiring. I understand the mental warfare with trying to make an album for everybody to not everybody, but just your fans to love and to just react the way that you think you want them to react. It's just so much to put in that one song. I think it was like 5-6 minutes.
It's a lot of pressure. It totally is.
Yeah. It's yeah.
And it just to bounce off of that, the whole song is him kind of questioning, the price of fame, if you will. And he has the war of attrition. I'll take what I've been given. The deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. Tell me, did I give you what you came for? Terrified to answer my own front door.
Yeah.
And like that just like on the surface is like, oh my God. But when you realize that he did get, or was it their drummer or their guitarist? Someone like released like their birth certificate and like their address. And so like now like people are showing up at your house, and you're terrified to answer the door.
Yeah.
You got these creeper fans out there that just don't respect boundaries. Like, cool, this artist gave you this piece of work for you to experience. It doesn't mean you guys are besties.
Yeah. I think that's something that I like that they bring into the limelight, because a lot of people just kind of shy away from it. And there was a video of Justin Bieber, and he was kind of like going off on the paparazzi.
Yeah, I did see that.
Be like, I'm a father, I'm this, I'm that. Like, let me live my life. And to any paparazzi or to any fan, it kind of goes right over their head. And like, you may be those things, but to like a fan, you're so much more. And they kind of get blindsided because they forget the human beings or forget their people. So for these guys to bring it to the limelight, enter their music that got them to this place, they're putting it in there. They're telling people like, hey, listen, we appreciate you guys loving our work, but like, remember, we are human beings. We are regular people. We have lives. We have family. I don't want to have to go to a restaurant and have to get hunted down because now you know where I live and who I am. Like,
It's
just because
scary.
I'm famous. It is scary. And it really is a dark side of being famous. You know,
Yeah.
we see it as this like, oh my God, like I wish that I was you. I wish that I did this. But to them, it's like, I just wish to be normal. I just wish to have a normal life and just have a way to just kind of separate myself from my fame if it was possible. So
Right.
yeah, I feel
And
that,
that's
man.
and that's I think that was the kind of the point of them having a secret identity. You know,
Mhm.
because you don't know who's under that mask. Like, you don't know what they look like. You don't even know what their names are. You know, they're
Right.
trying to. They don't even do like interviews or anything. I don't think so. It's like their secret identity is like really important, and how, like you said, how unfortunately social media and how people are anymore. It's just you have no privacy.
Right.
You
No,
have
it's
you have no life, unfortunately, and that sucks.
it's a double-edged sword. Like the more you're private, the more people are going to want to like pry into it.
Which
Yeah.
is
And
so weird to me. It's so,
like you
It's
just
like
get those
the
creepers out there.
Is your life just that boring?
I don't
Like,
think it's that. There's a cloak of mystery that everybody wants to take off. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Everybody wants to know what makes you mysterious, and they want to be the one to debunk that mystery. So even for a lot of artists like me back in the day, being in the studio with artists, uh you had to be mysterious for people to like you, right? And then as social media started taking over, that cloak got revealed. And so now it became, if you weren't mysterious, you were kind of like shadow banned. Nobody cared for your music, nobody cared for your art because you weren't showing your day-to-day life. So it made artists have to put themselves in the limelight, whether they be doing, live videos on Instagram, TikToks, showing their day-to-day because they thought that's what the fans wanted. And Sleep Token is on the opposite end of that. We're like, no, I can give you good music, but just I don't want to give you my day to day life. I don't need to give you my day to day life. I already give you that in my songs.
yeah, like it's like I said, I don't want to say it's what they do is a gimmick. It's just, it's a little. I don't even know what even to call it. I don't want to disrespect them.
Now, what are you talking about gimmick wise? Like, you think it's like the mask or?
Yeah, because they do like a little. It's like a little like I don't want to say show, but it's just like
It's a
they're
theatricality to it.
Yeah,
it's like a theatrical. Can't
it's
speak.
okay. Say it out.
Theatrical type of like performance because they're
Mhm.
singing for the sleep. How you say it,
Sleep
Mike?
entity, sleep entity,
Yeah.
something like that.
So they're entertaining, but they're also being mysterious for
Entertainment
everything
purposes.
else.
Which of
Yeah.
course is just going to draw people to like a moth to a candle. It's just
Mhm.
going to pull them in. Again, like this song, it's very very dark, and it opens with like lullaby music.
Mhm.
Like you're like lulled into like the sense of like, hey, everything is great, and again, like you're talking about something sweet, like caramel and how great it is, and stick to me. It's almost like a love song, but like
Yeah.
caramel is dark burnt brown sugar, and it's not really I think this song in general is amazing. I love almost every minute of this song.
The
Yeah.
funny part about Caramel song is like it's a very there's a part of the song where it's very like poppy. Like
Mhm.
it's like the way that the progression goes with the drums and stuff, it almost reminded me of like an Ed Sheeran song, which is so weird to me because when you read the lyrics and then what you're hearing, it almost contradicts itself. So you have
Yeah.
it's so cool though, because like I never would have thought, like Brandon, like I said, I never went to the lyrics like you guys did. Listening to the song, Sticks to Me Like Caramel sounds like a love song.
Yeah.
I want you to
Yeah.
be with me 24/7, 365. It sounds like that. But when you start reading the lyrics, it's more like, no, it's not like that. It's complete opposite. And it's because of how the production was that it made me feel like that was more of a lovey-dovey song. But it obviously isn't.
But also, like, how crazy is it that like he's like pouring his heart out about like being stalked and not wanting to go like as mainstream as he is, and this song kind of I think blew them up harder than any other song.
It's definitely one of the tops for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
I mean,
Sorry, slipped out.
That's all right. I saw them perform it live, like someone recorded it. and he didn't do the whole song. Well, they didn't record the whole song. They caught at the end, and you could see Vessel like struggling to sing it because of how deep it is for him. And at the end, you could just see him like sobbing and crying,
Mhm.
and the fans are trying to cheer for him, and he's like doing this as like a thank you. So you could just tell that song just hits him right in the heartstrings because that's how he feels. That's just I saw get into the other song that I want to talk about.
Gethsemane.
Gethsemane.
Yeah.
Talking about how he was maybe he was with him. I don't know, but just how he's with somebody and he loved her, but she didn't love him back.
Yeah, this one hits hard.
It does, especially when he says, "You never saw me naked. You wouldn't even touch me unless you were wasted."
Yeah, you never saw me naked. You wouldn't even touch me unless you were wasted. But if you were trying your best, and that's the thing I'll tell others, I was your robot companion, and you were my favorite color.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I was your robot companion.
yeah, I was the person who followed you and did everything you said.
That's crazy.
And like, you were just my favorite thing. You were my favorite color. Speaking from like experience of coming out of like a situation like that, this song, I didn't like this song at first. I really didn't.
Mhm.
And then it kicks in with that like really upbeat that the drums kick in, and it was kind of insane. And I was like, I don't know. And it was one of those things like fourth or fifth time. I think when we were in the studio, I was like, I don't like this song. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, this is up there quite a bit. What might be good for your heart might not be good for your head, and what is good for at the start might not be good at the end, which is just the total like when you fall in love, like there is a dopamine reaction in your brain, and once that starts to fade, it's this entire song is just riddled with that. It's amazing.
Not just excuse me. Not like the exact same situation that he had, but like just when you love somebody or really want to be with somebody, but they don't feel the same, but they just like egg you on.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
that just hits so
That's
close. It does, especially when he says, "I was in love with the thought that we were in love with each other."
Yeah. Oh my
That
god.
that lyric hits every time.
This guy is just so
Yeah.
poetic in how he writes, man. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just oh man, it just hits. It just hits in a different way. Like oh, God.
Yeah, there's definitely like super layers to it, and it's one of those things. Like at first, it's just like okay, it's an upbeaty song, and it starts slow, and then you start to dig into it, and you're like, holy crap! Like I can't believe no one's gonna save me from your memories. Nothing to lose, but I would have give anything to get closer to you than your enemies. Like, come on, incredible.
Vessel just hits you with the heartstrings, bro.
But like outside of the lyrics, and this one's on you, George. Like, all right, it starts off like really kind of slow, and then it gets these crunchy, almost like Deftones guitars, and then like out of nowhere, it's like, yeah, get rid of the guitars and drop the trap beat. Like,
Yeah.
what?
And that's dude, that's the thing with this album is like you hear it and it's like it just wants to it's a mind frick. I'm not gonna say it. But you know what I mean? Like the song and the production sometimes don't match the vibe of each other at all. And you're thinking one thing just because of what the production's doing, but when you really deep dive into the lyrics, man, it's just like my man's on a whole different spectrum than what the actual production sounds like.
Yeah.
And then what he does with his voice tone sometimes, like he can just there's a lot of times where he does this like it's like a formant shift, right? So you drop it down and it sounds very like robotic-y on a lot of his parts. And that just adds so much tension, but then it goes into like this happy, pretty thing, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? You know?
Yeah. I've caught up on the person I try to turn myself into for you. Someone who didn't mind the push-pull parlay games. Like someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back.
Oh man,
like
that's some deep shit.
Just for someone who tried, again, this close to home, just trying to be somebody other than yourself for someone that you really wanted to be with or loved.
Mhm.
It's just, man, that song, it's
Yeah.
just, woo.
It's amazing, like what a person will do to try to convince the person they're with that that they love you. And this song is completely about that. And obviously he was burned at something. And yeah, this song's incredible.
You're telling me. Was there any other lyric you wanted to talk about for a different song there, Michael?
For this, man. Give me a minute.
At this point.
Yeah. There was, all right, so Emergence, and this caught my eye just because like you're a horror fan. There's a part where it breaks down where he starts rapping and he's like, are you the kebab to my nano, red glass to my light bulb, dark light to my culture, sapphire to my white gold, burst out of my chest and hide in the vents? Does that make you think of Alien, or is that just me?
I guess it's just you.
Oh man,
I didn't get that either. I saw you smirking, and I was like, I think he's expecting us to know what he's
all right, like that's just me like digging deep down into it. But like, so Emergence, like this is a crazy song too. Like, go ahead and wrap your arms around me. Like it breaks down. You got that almost like trap beaty thing again, and at one point, like there's like it dropped, like the whole song drops out, and he's like, whoop, and like the whole thing like kicks back in. Like I'm like, come on, that's dope. Like I expect it like every single time. Yeah,
it's so much ear candy in this album, man. Like it's, yeah,
and like this, it ends with a saxophone.
Yeah,
it's so.
Is this the saxophone
cool.
song?
Yeah.
Okay. He had this one, and then there was another song that ended in like a string solo, and I just melted. I forgot which one it was. Oh, fudge.
A string solo, like a violin,
like a violin, yeah.
Was that Infinite Bats,
Infinite
or
Bats?
was that
Infinite? It starts. Infinite Bats ends with him like screaming.
Does it? It was one of the songs, man. It just broke down into a string thing.
It was. I think it was Getsame? Gets how you say it again?
But I have it up, so I'm about to play it.
Well, while we figure that out, can we talk about the secret Marvel cameo appearance on this album?
What?
So Provider.
Wait, what?
When Provider's playing, like halfway through it, Spider-Man 2099 makes an appearance. They start like, yep, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Cam. And every time it plays, I think of him like running up the building.
No way, seriously?
Hey,
it's pretty close.
That catch, bro, that's a crazy catch.
I think it.
Well, people have been saying too. I think was it Caramel or was it Dangerous or I forget. I think it was Caramel. That the beginning sounded like something from Zelda.
Oh, that was Past Self.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like something from Zelda. That was a lot of things with this album, I realized. It was very like, I don't know, it reminded me of just anything your imagination can go to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was something that, and the crazy part was, and it's something I was telling you guys earlier, but it would be a really missed opportunity if one of these songs did not get used for the new Dream show on Netflix. What's the one, the DC comic one?
Neil Gaiman. Why am I blanking on this, dude? Why am I blanking on this? Yeah. Oh my god! Why am I?
Dang.
Yeah, the Neil Gaiman show.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it would be such a missed opportunity because all these songs just have like the dream sequence feel. I'm right there with you, Mike. I couldn't remember the name, dude.
Dude, it's bugging me so bad.
Yeah, it gives you like a music box type of
Yeah.
like sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
the
get that.
change ups of how it goes from like, because in this TV show, and I'll remember the name at some point, but you follow the character Dream, who's a DC character, and he is the person who is in control of the dream realm. So the dream realm is literally, it could be fairies and freaking castles, it can be hell, it could be anything that you can think of, and this album fits that so
Sandman.
well. Sandman, there we go.
Sandman.
You have to look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
just-
believe I blanked on it, dude.
I know, I did too.
I'm the
'cause I was thinking
DC guy.
about it. Yeah, Michael. But dude, if they put any of these songs on that TV show, it would be a win. They would fit. Any of these songs would fit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Sandman.
Dude,
Sandman.
do you know what like their producer situation is? Do they produce their own stuff? Do they have like, because whoever's like coming
They,
up with this stuff is kind of wild too.
I think they switched album what's the word? God damn, I just had it in my head. Yeah, I think they switched labels.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Yeah.
was this again? I didn't hear a lot of their older stuff, but like the way that they wrote about, trying to hide from fans and stuff like that, was that something that they did in prior projects, or was it just this on this?
Yes,
one?
it's
Okay,
all
so
it's
it is
always
something.
it's always been their thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm always wondering, I'm like, well, at some
'Cause
point
they-
you didn't have that like fan base, so what were you writing about? You know what I mean?
Well,
But I
mean,
guess there's a lot of other stuff too. Like, there was a lot of love
you never know.
situations and
You
stuff.
never know what's going on in someone's head.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because I've seen people talk about their music, especially from hey, say it again, George. Get to me.
Get to me.
Gethsemane.
Get to me, I'm Mario.
Isn't it?
Shut up, Mike.
Isn't Gethsemane? I'm not a huge religious person, but this would be for Larry. But isn't the Garden of Gethsemane? Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. They do a lot for like either it's lyrics or it's titles off of
Yeah.
like Bibles and like other like stuff. Yeah.
Gethsemane. I think that's how you spell it. Gethsemane.
But
I
yeah,
wanna look
they like two. I watched two. Like I love watching reactions, especially like people who never like listened to them before. And the two people brought up, they're like, this gives me. I don't want to sound like this, but that's how they said it. I don't want to be that person, but this gives me like Taylor Swift vibes, because you're not used to men being open to how they feel. You would think women or Taylor Swift, like for example, that would write something like that and make it into a song.
No, his lyrics are like nowhere near like esoterical. Like his lyrics are very personal, and like you don't get that a lot at all.
Yeah.
Which goes to the point of you saying like the Taylor Swift thing, but I don't think it's on that same level. Because if you notice, her stuff is very direct when she says her things. And with these guys, there's so many metaphors that are getting told in their songs. Like they're being creative about their storytelling. And that's something that is kind of rare, because it takes a lot to make somebody visualize something with metaphors. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of people nowadays to be like, you got to be direct to have people understand what you're trying to say. And these guys are definitely like not direct, but in a way they are. You know what I mean?
But that it also adds to the whole like mystery of them. With they got these crazy costumes on. They got these lyrics that are personal but interpretable, and it still leads to, I'm sure, the problems that he's singing about in Carmel.
Yeah,
because these people, they feel like maybe these are about me, and maybe. So it's definitely a double-edged sword, and it's a shame, because they really. When was the first album drop? Do you know?
Their very first album?
Yeah. Because again, like they're pulling insane numbers on all platforms in a time of like. Is there even like a physical release of this?
2019.
Their first album was 2019, and they're popping now, dude. Like that's crazy.
Like they've released singles and EPs back from 2016.
So like I kind of like peered into some of that stuff, and like it's nowhere near like the production value that this stuff is. Like it feels like there's a lot more auto tune on that stuff and a lot more
They were probably just kind of like trying to test the waters.
yeah. But
Yeah,
they
that's
definitely grown, and
that's how bands are. They try to find their sound.
Mhm.
Yeah,
and I think they
I
definitely
like
mastered it by this.
Yeah.
I definitely want to listen to the last one.
shoot, I'm listening to all of them. You said the first
Yeah,
one was 2019, bro?
I've been trying because we've been talking about this for like a couple weeks now, and I'm like, I really wanted to like get into the groove of this and like understand this album.
If you
with that.
listen to Take Me Back to Eden, like listen to that album, listen to the Summon, listen to Chokehold,
Yeah,
listen to Take Me
Just
Back to
listen to
Eden.
all
Like
of it,
they're
Kev. We're gonna
all
listen to
all of it, all of it.
Yeah.
Just fucking
We're
Well,
not
listen to it.
skipping we're not skipping a single song, Kev.
I don't know what album it must be on the one before that, but there's a song called Jaws, as in like shark, and he's singing about this girl, and it's like, show me your jaws, show me those pearly whites or something, show me like your brutal side, and like it can mean like a couple different things.
Toxicity.
Toxicity.
Yeah.
Toxicity. Yeah.
And like
Gotcha.
it's an amazing song. There's like this little like synth that goes through it because there's a lot of pianos in this, but also like it just has like this really nice like synth throughout the entire song. And to be honest, it's one of my favorite songs I've heard in years.
Wow.
And
They're great, man.
Yeah.
Listen, they're a great band.
I have a question because it seems to be something that's coming up a lot. Are they metal? Is Sleep Token metal?
So I actually wound up watching a YouTube short about this, and the guy said they're progressive metal.
Prog metal, yeah.
Or prog
There's,
metal,
there's so
Yeah.
many layers to music now where it's like it's not just one specific genre anymore.
Yeah.
So
Like, and I feel like he doesn't scream. I don't know what he does on the other albums, but like he doesn't scream much on this album. But when he does, it's incredible.
hits, man.
Yeah, like there's at the end of Infinite Baths, like the whole last verse is this deep guttural like beast growl that he's singing, and it's amazing. And I think that kind of opens the doors to, you know, back in my day, like Rammstein kind of opened the doors to metal for me. Like it was gimmicky, there was techno in it, it was a German guy singing, but like that's what got me into metal. Is it like exactly metal? Is Rammstein exactly metal? No, probably not exactly, but it got me into it. And I think Sleep Token can really kick in the doors for a lot of people. And rock music, metal music has been sorely missing from pop culture, from what it needs.
It's been on
definitely
a country music bench lately. Everybody's
fuck
trying
it.
to go country.
Fuck Ed Sheeran, fuck that shit. Like I can't stand this guy. No, none of that. Get this shit in there. Get production.
Yeah,
kick out the acoustic guitar.
Get good production, because here's the thing, man. Like I think what really set this album apart from anything that I've listened to that recently is the change ups, the production, the little ear candy thing, like the whoa thing, like that was just really cool shit. And it just, we need more of that. I'm tired of the cookie cutter stuff, man. I'm getting bored. I'm getting bored. Yeah, and I'm just like, stop.
This shit is dangerous. It's not safe, and it works so well.
It's against
like try to explain this stuff to like go up to like say Rick Rubin and be like, yeah, I want trap beats and guitars and rapping, and I'm gonna wear devil paint. Like,
and Rick Rubin's just gonna be like, I'm just here to take away, not add. He's such a like, weird guy, but
give me $15 million to do this. Like,
bro, he just sits in a corner and sits in a corner somewhere, and he's like, sounds good, and just goes. Like that's all he does. But the crazy part is he knows good music, so if he is in the room, that'd be bomb.
That's what I say. It's such a risky thing, and it works so well. So yeah, I think they are metal. Kev, you?
Yeah, I think they're metal.
Yeah,
they're not like heavy metal, but they're in that like metal core. Type of like. They're not like, was it like deathcore or something like that, where it's just all screaming. They're not that.
Yeah, I mean they can give anything. These guys, you want them to do something on a pop thing, they can do it. If they want to do something that's just kind of like a lullaby, like bro, a lullaby, and they would kill it. You know?
Oh my god,
something to sound very like, you know, Legend of Zelda-ish or some fantasy world thing, and they can do it, pull it off, and it's just so well done. Like props
I
to these
can't
guys.
I can't wait for the Sleep Token Twinkle Twinkle Little Rockstar album to come out.
Oh,
So
God.
like, dude, it's gonna happen one day, and I can't wait for it.
Mike, push that through.
I am. If you ever have like need to put a kid to sleep, put on Twinkle Twinkle Little Rockstar. They have Post Malone. They have like anybody you can want, and it's all like lullaby.
This is a real thing.
Yeah, it's lullaby music made from like contemporary music. So they have
What?
yeah, dude. They have
Kev,
I can't think of it now. All right, I'm gonna piss everyone off right now. Alexa, play Twinkle Twinkle Little Rockstar.
Anyway,
I don't have one, but everybody
I have one in my room.
Thank God I got
Anyway.
headphones.
Me too. Anyways, shall we get in the top three? Our top
Let's
three
go.
songs?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Mikey Mike starts off, sir, with number three.
Number three. Since we already have my number one, I think give me a minute here. So my first listen, probably my number three, my number one was Past Self, but that kind of took a bit of a nosedive. It's a little weird for the album, but I really like it. But I am going to say, yeah, and
for
it's
what they do. It is short. It's only like 4.5 minutes long.
it feels like the most like, and I don't mean to be like snobby, but it feels like the most like commercial of all of the songs on the album, I think. But I'm gonna go number three, and I'm gonna say Gasoline, whatever.
Gasoline.
Just
Gasoline.
because of
Get to me.
exactly. It gets to me, Mario. Yeah, that one.
Up, Michael.
Nope, I'm gonna make that a thing. You don't even know. But I think the lyrics, the changes, it goes in my head. It goes like from like Deftones to trap beat to just amazing. And I'm gonna say that's my number three.
Gets enemy. Gets enemy. Yeah. George,
are we going top three or just doing one at a time?
One at a time.
All right. My number three is probably gonna be Emergence.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Emergence was cool. I dig that one.
Okay.
That's all I'm giving.
Yeah. Okay. It's been so like I've been thinking about it. I already know my top two. It's just it's been a toss up with two songs. But I would say I'm with Mike. It's gets to me.
Say it. Say it.
I was about to say it.
Yeah, that's my number three. Again, just how deep the song is and how the lyrics get you and how it got to me because I think we've all been there a certain way. It's not the exact same thing, but maybe identical. But yeah, it's just his vocals from how he kind of sings in a high pitch in the beginning, and he goes to his normal, and then he goes back to the high, like the high vocals. It's so good. The honorable mention was actually look to the Windward.
Windward.
Yeah. Sorry. It's a great song to be. They start that song, the concerts off with that song.
Oh, do that with the synthesizers and all that? Yeah.
But the thing is, they don't fully get on stage because they have a curtain. They don't exactly start playing until they get to the screaming part.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Funny story about that song though. So I played it in the car, and my kid was in the car with me, and it's a pretty long intro.
It's
going in. Yeah, and it's like he says the same thing over and over and over and over. So my kid's like, "Is he gonna say anything else yet?" And I'm like, "He'll get to it, I promise." But I think what he's saying is that more of attrition or something like that, or he's saying something in the beginning, and it's just repeated for like a good minute or so. And I just kind of got lost in a daze, and I'm just like, "Yeah, this sounds good." And she's like, "Is he gonna say anything yet?"
But he goes in the melody. He goes into that trap.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Michael, number two.
My number two. Count Me Out Like Sovereigns. Payback for the Good Times. Right foot on the roses. Left foot on the landmine. Caramel. Because incredible. Again, a song that it starts as a lullaby and it ends with a landmine. It is incredible. the deeper you dig into this song, like the better it gets. It starts out at a 10, and by the time you're done with it, it's at a 20 or 100. Every single part of this song I love. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't my number 3, 2, or 1 played of the year. At like
Me
the top.
too.
Like,
That's huge.
yeah. It's every single thing about this song. It's different from anything I ever heard before. It's thick. It's good. It's
Like caramel.
back. Pause. Exactly. Well, that's just the thing. Like it really is. It's got such like a dark side. And if you take like, they have another song, Sugar, that's all about like he wants sugar, and it's all about like getting into fame and like how like great it can be. And then you have this song, which is almost like
Sugar
the
burns.
mirror, the upside down version of it, like for like
that.
Stranger Things. Like it's burnt sugar, it's caramel, it sticks to you and it hurts. And everything about the song I love. It's not my number 1, and it's definitely trying. It's trying to be.
It's definitely close up there.
Yeah.
George?
I'm gonna go with Caramel with second one too. There's just something about it where I can just groove, dude. Like that change up, like it's just such a like a dancey pop thing, and that's why I go back to talking about it earlier. Like it didn't feel like a bad, depressing song. It was like very upbeat, and I can just get into a good mood. But then I read the lyrics, and you guys are talking about it. I'm just like, ouch. But it was a really good song to me. I just love the transitions on it, going from that chill melodic to a dancey thing, and then taking it to where he took it. So Caramel, top 2.
It's a clean sweep for 2. Yeah, my number 2 is Caramel.
Let's go.
That song is just so good. Just this whole outro verse. So I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm. This stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war of attrition. Attrition. I'll take what I'm given. The deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. Just mic drop. Literally just mic drop. When he just says that at the end, because like you said, it goes to like, like a little like music box in the beginning, keeps you going, and then do a little heavy, and then goes back down to that. Like it's honestly, it does sound like a lullaby. Just ends with the music box and just ends you with that lyrics, because again, that's a little too close to home, especially with mental health. It's just incredible. I need to see that song live. I really do.
That'd be amazing. And like the song hits so hard that I went to a dictionary and had to look up attrition, because I'm like, this is so cool. I don't know what that word is, but like when you look at it, and it is the wearing down of shields of your willpower, and like it just hits it that much harder, where it's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Because that's what they do. They do like encryptions on their lyrics and hands stuck up and everything. Like, that's what they do. All right, Mike, what's your number 1?
Number 1, I already buried the lead, but it's Damocles. And it's my understanding that Damocles, what happened to him, he had a sword dangling above him at all times by a single wire that would drop on him, that he was always scared of. So he's kind of always under the gun for his entire existence. That's about as much as I know about him. But the first time I heard this chorus of like, come up for air and choke on it all, no one else knows that I got a problem. I was in a very terrible situation for 10 to 15 years, and I hid it from everybody. And when this whole song, I feel, represents a lot of that for me. The song is amazing, and I cannot get enough of it. If Carmel isn't my number 1 most played song of the year, will definitely be it. The way the music hits, it fits so much into a verse, and just the way it builds. George, as a music producer, I don't know exactly what it's called, but as a song, I guess, is it prog, or like progressive, when you add layers to each,
like progressive rock?
It builds up into this incredible crescendo, and it hits, and the guitars are going, and then his voice is sweet. It's amazing. It's hurt. It's It's beautiful. It's a beautiful song, and it's my absolute favorite on the album. Nobody told me I'd be begging for relief when what is silent to you feels like screaming to me. Nobody told me I'd get tired of myself when it all looks like heaven, but it feels like hell. Like exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
So, bravo.
Exactly. George?
This is one we didn't talk about, but my number one is Provider.
Ooh, okay.
I just like how
like
it
that.
starts. He just jumps in with "I want to be a provider," solo vocal, and then after that, you get like this like pad sound, and he's just kind of talking. And then when he gets to the breakdown, he does this thing with his voice where it gets like almost like lower, but not lower. Like it's like muffled, like, and then it goes, bum, like it just gets big, epic sound. I'm like, oh crap. And then as it goes along, he gets like in the middle of the song, and then he's really digging into like how he really wants to be like the person for you. And that's when it gets into the guitar start coming through. But yeah, it's such a great song, man. Just it kind of resonated with me because as a man, we always try to be that person for everybody. You know what I mean? We always try to be that one person that's going to be a shoulder for everybody else. But yeah, I think it was like really well thought out. The build on that part with that, it just has this like melody, like it's just in the background, and it's so cool. It's like really nice. But yeah, Provider.
Try not to think of like Spider-Man 2099 now, though.
Is that the one you were talking about?
Yep.
Oh, I hear it.
Someone needs to make that costume, like the Vessel Spider-Man 2099 crossover.
Oh, do it! You got to do it with the blade. Oh yeah,
Yep.
you got to.
That'd be kind of bomb.
Yeah, it would.
Kev,
Mike,
it's all down to you, bro.
Mike, you and I have the same top three.
Really? Oh, that's amazing.
Democles. It's just that song just hits. A very simple song that doesn't need any trap, any different type of interesting transitions. It's just a piano, go into a little bit of rock, and it goes back to piano.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the one, like you saw the lyrics, but the one before that, and it feels like falling into the sea from outer space in seconds to me, and play Discordant Days on repeat until they look like harmony. Now, until they look like harmony, you hear the harmony of people singing in the background. I thought that was so.
Is it really? Oh my god,
that was so well done. It was so good. Yeah, that song it's just incredible. I need to see that live as well. And I agree with you, Mike. My top 5 for Spotify at the end of the year. The last 3 or 4 years, my number one artist it was Motionless in White, and I think this year they might be dethroned.
Maybe.
Yeah, because this band has really taken over my life, and I love every second of it. I can't wait for these guys to give us more.
Last year, my top 3 where it was Bliss of Buddha, the stuff you produced, George, and like Sarah McLachlan of all the weird things in the world. Like, but I think that this year is going to be heavy on the Sleep Token.
Yeah, Sleep Token, Kev, again, man, I really appreciate you putting this on.
Yeah, dude.
This was a win. I'm not gonna. Every time you send a text about homework, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do it without having to.
Yeah, I know you didn't listen to the other album. I asked you to listen.
Actually, I did listen to it. So shit it.
Mm-hmm.
Only one time, and it wasn't a full thrown listen through.
Which one was that? Hold on, because I was going on like walks and stuff, and I was definitely digging in the Sleep Token. In fact, I think I like messaged you.
It was another one. It was
Magnolia Park.
Oh, I didn't listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you know what's crazy? Also, Magnolia Park. Remember that playlist you gave me? Magnolia Park did pop up on there, so I might have heard a song or two, but it might not have been on the project you told me to listen to. Sorry.
So back to what you said
I'm not
earlier.
gonna second guess you anymore.
I asked you to listen to, you don't do it until Sleep Token came up.
You know what, man? It took this band for me to make sure that I listen to everything Kev sends me from here on out. So
George is a changed man.
I am a changed man. I am a changed man. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate
Ever
it.
since y'all hit me with the Disney stuff, I've been listening.
Hey, listen, look, man, that Disney album, I don't care what anybody says, that slaps. All right.
It does. Dude, we did 3 music
Eye to eye,
reviews.
bro. Eye to eye.
It still slaps, bro.
That's a slap.
That's
Exactly.
and what's funny? That's the band that I asked you guys to listen to the other album for, Magnolia Park.
Oh, so I did listen to him.
Yeah, just not their new album. Asshole.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Kev. I like them. They're nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Shoot.
Anything else you guys want to bring up before we wrap it up here?
I do have something. I try not to go off on these kind of things, but I think this album is like a good representation of this month for men and men's mental health awareness. And I think, Kev brought it up earlier today that, they wanted to say that Sleep Token was kind of like Taylor Swift and how she expresses herself as a woman. And this band here expresses himself, and it shows men that you should be able to express yourself. You should be able to speak your mind, whether it be good things, bad things, whatever. You could be in a dark place, but if you don't say it, you're just going to stay in that dark place. So I feel like with this album and what the month we're in, I just want to remind every man out there that you are able to speak your mind. You are able to have feelings. You are able to, go through issues and talk about them, And at the end of the day, you don't have to talk to a therapist. You can just talk to any other man, because I swear to God, I know every man goes through it. We all go through these dark little moments in our lives, and sometimes we forget that we are allowed to talk. So, yeah,
It just happened to me last week.
It's like that for everybody, man. I just, even for me, I've been like in a little bit of a slump myself, and I think listening to this album and you guys kind of talking about it, I feel like this was needed for not only just musical thing, but for just myself, just to be like, I can say what's on my mind and what's bothering me and so on and so forth. So yeah, man, speak of peace.
It doesn't make you any less of a man, doesn't make you less anything. Like, it honestly just makes you stronger, mentally and physically. Your emotions matter, your feelings matter. No matter if you're a man, woman, don't matter. Your feelings are valid, no matter what. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Big facts.
And if someone asks you what's wrong, don't just say I'm fine. Don't say I'm okay. Jose himself, I said that to him, and he said, "No, you're not." And he helped me quite a bit. So thank you, Jose. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. We hope you enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, have that defense mechanism of saying we're okay, and then a real person would understand that you're not.
Exactly.
That's always the answer. Just a fallback. So
if your buddy says he's fine, it's okay. Push a little deeper. Try to get it out of him. Sometimes it's the wall that's up isn't as high or as strong as they think it is, and you can really save somebody.
Yeah. All it takes is one call or text. That's all.
Exactly.
That's all it takes. But well, listen. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want us to talk more about music, let us know. What do you think about the album? Do you think our opinions suck? Do you think they're good? What is your favorite song from the album? Let us know in the comments. We follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Geeks at the Nerd Table podcast. We just want to hear more from you guys because there's always a chair for you at the table. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
I'm not reviewing Taylor Swift. Adios.
Okay, bye.